What up, guys? It's Slush Ropes, and you're probably wondering, how do you take care of your rope? How do you maintain your rope? So this video is going to be all about rope care. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few things, especially if you're interested in like washing your rope. This is a video you want to watch first before you do anything with your rope. So first things first, as a rule of thumb, you never want to wash your rope. It doesn't matter what brand you're using, you just don't want to wash your rope. And the reason for that is because the moment you decide to wash your rope, you also risk compromising the feel of the entire rope. And so I don't think that that's something you should do. It's not something that I would recommend. But if you really feel like you have to, for some reason, like something reasonable, let's say your dog peed on it or something, or maybe, like maybe you got it in the mud or something like that. Some reason where like you're like, I really have to clean this. What I would recommend is that you hand wash it, and only hand wash what you actually need to clean out. Do not ever just toss your rope in the laundry, or like however way you clean your rope. Like just don't do the whole thing. Only clean the portion that you feel like needs to be cleaned, and not the whole thing. So a lot of people have actually shared with me their stories, because they're super interested in like keeping it like close to brand new and things like that. So I'm also going to be telling you guys some stuff that people have done, and maybe you can kind of like avoid the mistakes that they've made. So we're gonna go back to like putting this in your laundry, or just washing the whole rope. I actually had a client that ended up washing their ropes because it got a little bit dirty, and what ended up happening was the entire rope got super stiff. um, and obviously, they kind of like panicked a little bit, and they were like messaging me. And one thing that we discovered together is you can definitely reverse that by using fabric softener. However, you can only reverse it so much. You can't expect for the rope to be like how it was. Like, adding fabric softener is not going to cancel it out. It's just going to help make it a little bit softer, but it's not going to go back to how it was. So again, if you are thinking about washing your ropes, I would suggest that you just don't do it. Leave it as it is, because it's better to have a dirty rope than like a super stiff rope. You're gonna have to decide, especially if you clean it, it's gonna get dirty anyway. But that's just my opinion. Another way to avoid your rope getting dirty is by just not using it outdoors. So you could be at the park, if you're flowing on the street, just anywhere, parking lots, things like that. Don't use it. Like, keep it indoors. And if you want to use it outdoors, make sure you bring your own mat, so that you are also protecting it. But just so you guys know, it's super natural for your rope to look dirty, and this is what it looks like. This right here used to be like a super neon like yellow rope. This is the Prototype Electric, and you see how it's like super dirty. It's kind of like almost like black. That's super normal. For me personally, the dirtier the rope, the more that I love it, because it's a reminder of like how much work I've put into it, the places I've gone with it, like things like that. For me, I embrace that, and I encourage you guys to do the same. A brand new rope has no story, but like a beat up looking rope, super dirty, that definitely has a story. So I keep that in mind, and I really embrace it, because again, it just reminds you of how far you've come. But yeah, another thing as well is what's it called? Every rope is made differently. Just as much as there's an outside layer, and I don't know if you guys know this, but inside of this rope is more like more braiding. So it's I'm not gonna say it's infinite, but like there's more braiding inside of this. There's actually a core inside of a double braided rope. So you want to just make sure that if you really want to wash your rope, talk to the company who made your rope. Maybe they can give you a recommendation. But any slush ropes, I can tell you guys this much: I do not recommend you guys washing it. Yeah, every rope is going to be made with different materials, and sometimes, like sometimes the inside of the material can also be different. And as much as you can see the outside, you don't know what the inside is like. So again, talk to the company that made your rope. Ask them if they have any recommendation. But again, for me, I just really wouldn't. All right, let's see. Yeah, so just in case you already washed your rope, use a fabric softener. I can't tell you like how much of it to put, because personally I've never done it myself. I just know that that's something that's worked in the past, but I don't want you to expect like it's just gonna be like the same thing, like it's gonna go back to like a super soft one. And yeah, washing your rope is you risking the feel and quality of it. And at the end of the day, my recommendation is really to just love the rope as it comes, as it becomes a dirty one. I don't know, for me, I think it's super it's super special. Anyway, if you want to prevent your rope from getting dirty, another way you can do it is right in the center of the rope. Most people's ropes would only really be dirty right here. That's really it right here, because this is the part that hits the floor, right? If you want to protect that, Philippines actually, they do this a lot. They find some sort of like covering here to protect it. That's like if you really want to. There are many types of materials you can use. But for me, one thing that I've seen people use a lot is electrical tape. Not duct tape, but electrical tape. Just because it's strong enough that it'll hold, but also like not too stiff. And that's something you can just wrap around here if you'd like. The only downside of putting some sort of covering here is you're pretty much manipulating the rope to stay in this position. So if you end up putting, like, let's say electrical tape around this, like I just want you to imagine that. If you put it like that, the rope is going to stay like this by default. Not that you can't not that you can't do this, but it's going to be harder to manipulate the rope. So you just have to think about that, and if that's something that works for you. Another thing as well is if you put the electrical tape in this way, it's going to be harder for you to like drag the rope and like use the rope, because you're now what should have been just a natural like formation of the rope, or like a natural shape of the rope, it is now requiring you to put in some tension to it. And so again, it's not something I recommend, but I know that sometimes people want their stuff clean, and I think that is going to be the best thing that I can recommend. Get electrical tape. Take out the tape anytime you think it's dirty. You can do that, but for me personally, I don't recommend it. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Try not to wash your ropes. Love your ropes as they come. See you guys.